Don't worry guys, I'm sure this will be as lighthearted as the first one. Oh, that is the most inconvenient lock on a gun possible. If I don't move, maybe he won't see me. Whew. What kind of weird town is this? I've never seen someone look more like a dork. Oh, one of the first characters we see. I'm sure she'll be in the movie a bunch and not just some cheap ass shot. Charlie's mom is just trying to give him some advice, and instead of listening or just saying thank you, he's like, "You been reading those books again, Mom?" Then we find out she's the Karen of the neighborhood, because she just starts going off about this dumpster that her neighbor has. I'm sure he's a nice, level-headed guy. Then we meet Charlie's girlfriend, Amy. First, she mocks him about his bike, and then proceeds to bully him. Then we get to meet Mark. I don't know about the other guy's name, but I'm sure Charlie's gonna get a break now that he's with his friends. Did you get a girl's drink? You what a loser. Man, that looks good. I wish I was brave enough to get a drink like that. Oh wait, I'm a bully. Then Charlie builds up the courage to ask his already girlfriend Amy to the prom. Nobody goes to dances, you loser. Man, I'm sure Charlie didn't do anything to deserve this. Like, you know, abandoning a lifelong friend to hang out with the cool kids. Then we cut to Mark showing off a picture that I'm sure was sent to him to be shown to his friends. We meet Ed here, and to say his introduction is bad is an understatement.
School you in the ways of geek douchery.
Oh, nice. Don't you have some sluts to go for?
Well, Ed wants to talk to Charlie, and it seems like their friend is missing. I wonder what happened. So Ed wants Charlie to come over to Peter's house after school, but Charlie doesn't want to hang out with stupid nerds. But Ed had some weird blackmail against Charlie.
Or how about that one time you took my Stretch Armstrong so you could tie it around your balls and jerk off for an hour?
Not the worst idea. Then we cut to Charlie's mom flirting. We learned the neighbor's name. His name's Jerry. Seems like a totally nice, level-headed guy. Then Charlie gets sent a video of him in tights and remembers all of a sudden that he has to go break into a house with Ed. A callback to a much better movie. So Charlie and Ed just break into the house, and Ed immediately drops the bomb that Jerry's a vampire. Just so you know, your neighbor's a vampire. Oh, and also Amy's a whore. Then we see poor Ed riding his skateboard down the street. Is that Ed? Man, I wish I knew how to tell him I like him. Oh wait, I've got it.
God damn.
I love you. Ed's able to make it over a fence and escape Mark's love, but he drops his vampire bag in the process. Well, Ed's apparently quite the athlete, because he just jumps over like 2 more of these super tall fences to escape Mark. I'm sure he's out of the woods now. Oh, Ed runs into the house since Jerry can't enter without an invitation. But unfortunately for Ed, the house is abandoned, so the rules just don't count. Ed runs upstairs and out the window, but Jerry's waiting for him. Then Ed has the stupidest fall and goes in the pool. But hey, Jerry's a nice guy and offers Ed a gift and gives him a little bite. I'm sure Ed will be a super cool vampire later in the film and not be the lamest vampire I've ever seen. You know, since the movie's obviously trying to get away from the comedy aspect of the previous film, even though they hired a comedic actor, I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh hey, Jerry's getting rid of the dumpster. I'm just gonna ignore this. We cut back to school, but wait. Ed's not there. Better investigate. Charlie heads over to Ed's house and immediately violates his privacy by going through his computer. Charlie finds some videos of Ed spying on Jerry, but Jerry doesn't show up in any of them. And now Charlie believes him. A little late, bud. Trash can. Jerry pops up after Charlie puts away the trash can. He just needs some neighborly help. He needs some beer for a date, so Charlie goes into his kitchen, and Jerry's like, "Hey, nice kitchen you got here." But Charlie won't invite him in. Budweiser okay? Yeah, I love Budweiser. Good.
Sorry, it's not a sixer.
Then Charlie heads upstairs and Amy's waiting for him in bed. Let's just hope Charlie doesn't have a Spectrum moment like in the original film. Amy gets up to see what Charlie's looking at, and it's just Jerry having his date over. Amy calls her a stripper, and Charlie defends her by saying she's just a Congo dancer. But Amy still calls her a stripper, and well, Charlie's a feminist, so... The realization that his girlfriend hates women makes Charlie pass out. Well, while he's recovering, he hears a woman scream from next door, so he calls the cops. But Jerry just flirts with the cops, and they get all embarrassed, so they leave. Oh, I didn't realize I ordered a party. What? No. We got a complaint about a scream. Come inside and I'll show you how to scream. I don't know what I'm doing. I was so tired when I wrote this. After the cops leave, Jerry leaves. So in all of Charlie's wisdom, he decides to break into Jerry's house, who he is like almost positive is a vampire now. So, I don't know. So Charlie makes it in and is just looking around, and he sees this super cool picture on the wall, so he takes a picture of it. Well, sucks to suck, Jerry's back. Charlie hides in the closet and finds a bunch of rooms and starts looking for the stripper. He finds her and makes sure to tell her that there's nothing he can do. Charlie hides, and Jerry shows up for a quick snack. Also, I like how in the original we got this as the vampire, but in this one we get this vampire. Just a blue vein and black eyes. Charlie gets the stripper downstairs and out the front door while Jerry watches his shows. But Jerry knew all along and just thought it was funny to see the stripper burn. So now Charlie has only one option left. Peter Vincent. I'm sure he'll be as cool and brave as he was in the original. Holy shit, he's even better. Oh, I guess he's the same. And an asshole. Charlie's able to convince him that he's there for an interview because he made like some crappy press badge. Also, Peter starts getting a little weird.
I'm gonna pop your cherry.
It turns out he collects a bunch of weird stuff pertaining to vampires and like other stuff like that. Peter starts drinking and immediately offers some to a miner. They start talking about how to kill a vampire, and of course Peter doesn't believe Charlie, so he calls him a loser and tells him to get out. But then we get a Quiet Kid shot. I'll show them all. We cut, and it's Mark and the other guy in a car, like, spying on Charlie, because tonight's the night. Mark's coming out to his friends. Tonight's the night. I'm sure they'll accept me for who I am. Dang. Then Mark and the other guy get attacked by Jerry, who I'm starting to think might not be a level-headed guy. We cut to Charlie's mom walking in on her son, having a schizo moment. They go downstairs, and Amy just walks in like she owns the place, and we all know what happened last time Amy was here. But while Amy and Charlie are talking, Jerry knocks on the door. Hey, could you open up the door? Charlie broke into my house, and I think we need to talk about it. But Charlie's mom, being the pillar of support she is, says, no, the only way I would ever open the door is if the house exploded. So obviously the three of them start to leave. They hop in their van and just barely make it out before another explosion happens. Jerry hops on the dirt bike, but the tire's all messed up, so I guess they got away. This time. Oh shit. I love how Amy just stares at it. Like, I get it, she's having a bad day, and the survival instincts just aren't there. They kick the bike out, and all's okay now. But lo and behold, Jerry's right behind them. You get some terrible CGI of him running his truck into them, and then he just stops in front of them. Jerry hops out, and Charlie's mom is like, what do I do? Then Charlie just takes the wheel from her and has his mom hit him. I just don't get why she hesitated. You know? He already tried to kill you guys a bunch of times today. So, what the fuck? I told you, he's a vampire. Enough with that! He wasn't a vampire! Do you believe me now? I really like this part. Jerry's hand comes up, and he just pushes down on the brake. I don't know why, but I really like how that was done. Well, with the car stopped in the middle of the road, somebody crashes right into the van. They hop out of their car and they're like, what are you doing stopped in the road for? I'll just go. Then Jerry brings out the cross and that doesn't work. I don't really know why it doesn't work, because Jerry brings up the faith and stuff like in the first movie, but when he grabs it, it catches fire, so I don't know. But then Charlie's mom has a total badass moment, and she just stabs Jerry in the chest with one of her, like, retail signs. But, of course, Charlie being the asshole he is, he's like, I guess all the books didn't help, because you just can't do anything right, huh? Charlie's mom passes out, and Amy and Charlie throw her into the dead guy's car and make their way to town. Me having to watch this movie more than once. Peter starts going through the pictures left by Charlie and compares them to the drawings he has in his safe and realizes they're the same. We then cut to the hospital where Charlie brought his mom, but this part's super lame, so Peter calls and has Amy and Charlie come over. Peter starts talking about the lore and stuff, which is like the most interesting part of this movie. Like, there are other species of vampires and stuff. I think with all the tribes and different stuff, they should have just made this a TV show instead of some remake of a better movie. I don't know. But anyway, I guess this tribe sleeps underground, and like in dirt, which is only said to explain something that happens in the final battle of the movie. Like, it didn't need to be said at all. Now, it's nighttime, like, it's super late, right? But security calls Peter and they're like, hey, you have a package. And he's like, okay, tell him to bring it on up. Well, Charlie immediately notices that that's really weird. And now we get to what I consider to be the worst part of this movie. Ed is a vampire. Well, when Ed shows up, Peter has the right idea. He just leaves those kids to die. Ed chases Peter and loses his arm because he's stupid and shouldn't even be in this movie. We cut to Jerry walking in the building and he's just done messing around. We then cut back to Ed stalking Charlie and Amy, but they push a shelf on him. Ed gets up and I mean, he's obviously still dangerous, so Charlie tells Amy to leave. Get out of here! Duh! What the fuck, go? There's no way another vampire can get in here since they haven't been invited in. That would completely go against all the rules and I'm sure that won't happen. Then you get a terrible CGI fight between Charlie and Ed. I hate it. Let's move on. So Amy grabs a gun and somehow Jerry's behind her. I don't know. You better get out of here. No. Ha, nice try. That's for werewolves and only some of the established rules apply to me. Who the fuck just keeps a chalice of holy water? So we cut and Ed is about to bite Charlie. Who cares? But then Amy hits Ed with a mace. Now Ed is in a very bad spot, right? He's missing an arm, his head has been nearly decapitated, and he just got hit in the head with a mace by Amy. I'm sure he's gonna run away, seeing as he has no chance to win this fight now, instead of continuing to approach Charlie and Amy, right? I hate this movie. Charlie and Amy escape to the club downstairs, and if this is anything like the original, I'm sure Dr. Disrespect is going to show up any second now. So they're in the club, and of course, Jerry is still chasing them. Charlie and Amy get separated, and Jerry gets his hands on Amy. Security shows up and takes Charlie away while he's screaming at her for cheating on him. How could you? I hope he kills you! Then we cut and Charlie's back in Peter's place asking for some help. But Peter just starts going off into his backstory. A vampire killed my parents. I just need some help. I've been afraid ever since then. Never sure of what would come next. The darkness I felt after that day. We then see Charlie getting ready for battle and a very concerned shopkeeper. And Charlie is still driving the dead guy's car. Charlie gets ready for battle and he heads in. Charlie finds Amy, but she falls through the floor. Well, Peter shows up to help Charlie, and Charlie's like, how did you find me? I wanted to help. No, I mean, I never gave you the address. How did you find me? Charlie and Peter start looking around until they hear Amy calling for help in the back. Charlie enters the room, but before Peter can, Jerry pops up and throws Peter across the basement. I actually found this part pretty funny. Jerry just flicks a pebble at Peter, and Peter's like, ow, what the fuck, dude? Oh, shit. Then it's Amy and Charlie embracing in the other room. And Amy looked so good as a vampire in the other movie, I'm sure they didn't totally screw it up in this one, with some terrible CGI stuff. Why did they remake this? So Charlie does what any good boyfriend would do in his situation. He stabs Amy to try to make her feel the same pain he felt when he saw her in the club that night. He then runs out to try to help Peter and sees he's just being eaten, so Charlie does the smartest thing he can and just starts shooting at the ceiling to let some sunlight in. Charlie runs into the sunlight and sits with Peter. Jerry calls Amy out, and Peter is like slowly turning, so he's starting to burn in the sunlight as well, just a little bit though. And well, we get some more Dr. Disrespect stuff here, but it starts getting really weird. So Charlie does what any boy would do when his heart's broken. He lights himself on fire and attacks Jerry. Peter shoots out some more of the floor to let some light in, and Jerry starts to burn, and Charlie stabs him with the stake, and everybody's all okay now. Also, Jerry's vampire form looks stupid. Shame on these people for making this movie. Then we cut to Peter's apartment where Charlie has forgiven Amy for her infidelity. But Peter walks in and blatantly stares at two half-naked minors. And you know what that means. Anyway, that's it. Everyone's happy. 4 out of 10. Don't watch it. Watch the original. Bye.